Sup manga fans, I'm back with one last video. A little lazy, we'll take the time to review it. But I do my first manga review on Saint Seiya. Yes, I'm reviewing Saint Seiya for the first time. Technically, I'm reviewing the manga, so I've already seen the anime. And I've already got reviews of them on my anime channel. But I plan to do new videos on them, so those ones are going to be outdated now. But really, as I say, the manga's pretty good, but the way it opens up is kind of weird to introduce us to the world. Anyway, so Saint Seiya localizes nice to the Zodiac in some other countries, as they do the word saints being in it. Was a manga series by Wasabi Kurumada published in Weekly Shonen Jump back in 1986. It was successful. I got anime adaptation a couple months later. And that also became successful. With a few sworn a couple of movies. The series got a lot of spin-off media, Lost Canvas, Saint Tina Show. Next, those are manga stories. Anime spin-offs in Omega and Solid Gold. Omega's a sequel. Solid Gold's midquel taking place during the Hades arc. And also those two manga published by Akita Shota in Weekly Shonen Champion. And Kurumada decided to move some new content to Champion for some reason. I don't know why. It's his choice. I'm just saying, because I wish it would stay in Jump though. Anyway, I'm trying to say is, it also received a direct sequel storyline called The Next Dimension, which recently came to an end. And Kurumada especially announced a new arc to begin pretty soon. So yeah, I also received a live action movie, which I actually did watch, and I thought it was alright at the time, but my opinion might have changed on it. My girlfriend was rather a fan. I also received a 2019 remake on Netflix, the anime. Well, not really remake, reboot technically. They're different things. So, and I did watch it. I've not watched season 2, and it's not that great. Previously, it's like they didn't understand. The people behind it didn't even read the manga, or even freaking understand the source material. But again, that's a complete. I'll save my eventual review on that one. So be sure to subscribe to Kill Phoenix for an eventual review on that one. I'll do it sometime in the future. Now, technically, the first arc is long, split up into parts. But I'm gonna just do the same as my anime reviews on them. So here, first arc is the Galaxian Wars arc, which is just pretty short, only 8 chapters long, and ends on a cliffhanger, tying to the next arc. Which in the anime, at least my reviews on it, the arc ended with the introduction with a proper tie into the next arc without a cliffhanger. So, yeah. I was able to read this. I actually am officially able to read this on the Shonen Jump app. So, you can officially read it there if you want to. So, also, little weird is about this translation. They use some elements of the English translation on the first dub of the anime, English dub, I mean, by Geek Entertainment. There was also another dub around that time by ADV Films. Yeah, I know, it's kind of confusing with on home media. The ADV dub I kind of found, but it seems like all the dub episodes are on there. On what I found years ago. So I switched over to the Netflix dub. Yes, Netflix redubbed the anime. which is interesting, a proper official dub that ties into the dub of the reboot. We're using mostly the same voice actors on it. Which, yeah, except for, I say mostly, there's one actor didn't come back. And again, I will talk about that in my eventual review of it. I just put up some points now. I also watched, anyway, did have watched All Solid Gold. I think I reviewed it. Not sure. I've only seen a few episodes of Omega. Seen like one episode of Show. And The Lost Campus, which is a prequel, by the way, set centuries in the past. So yeah. And for some reason, like a lot of later English translations of the series, English dubs, say the English terms, not the original Japanese versions. Like saints become knights. They say knights for some reason. Even the uncut dubs later down the line. Even the Netflix dub says it sometimes. They still say saints, but they sometimes just call them knights. Why? And they also, in the remake, they call the armors armor. Says they have a different name. It doesn't make any damn sense. I don't understand what's going on. When the English translation of mangas, they would still use the Saint Seiya with the subtext of Knights of the Zodiac. But I'll just be tired my view Saint Seiya because that's what it's called. I think. I don't know. I should know Japanese name. So, Saint Seiya is definitely a great series. My first introduction to the series was actually for the awful reboot. Yeah, I'm not saying anything since prior to that. Oh god. I'm gonna be honest, my introduction. I liked it at the time. Well, times have changed. I haven't watched it in years. So, who knows, my opinion may be different. I still have some of the same complaints, but who knows, maybe I'll still like it or something. Who knows? That's be a better review, but anyway, enough talk. It's in the manga. Also, you can buy the copies in English, physical copies, but yeah, it's going to cost you a lot of money since they're out of print. I don't know why Base hasn't got permission to reprint the manga in English. Like, sure they deal with different publishers now, like Akita Shoten, but should still be able to deal with Shueisha since it's the original run that can be viewed on the Shonen Jump app. They got to not negotiate for Shaman King, which is still Shonen Jump. Just saying, trying to officially read it is a pain in the ass. Stupid Kodansha. Alright. And that's the end of this British arc. So the story opens up in Greece, present day, at least 1986 present. Where a couple just sightseeing. And it's starting upon something interesting, but these couple does not appear again. It's just a weird way to introduce them. Yeah, I mean, however, changes it to actually showcase the change things up. Oh, and just enough. Some of the early chapters, are pretty short. No joke. Chapter 1 is pretty short. Usually gag manga do that. Because it's gag. Not Shonen Battle manga. You get enough time to introduce us to your protagonist and the world, is that? Oh, I just found it a little weird. And again, mostly because I experienced the anime. That's what my opinion was about just with the manga without knowing anything about the series. So, anyway, this is just a protagonist Seiya training with a loan up. If you look at official covers of the manga, you notice compared to the anime, you notice how the cloth looks slightly different. Yeah, it seems the official colorings were quite different compared to the anime. Maybe the anime changed it to make them more pop, striking visuals on screen, which there's still a bit different anime forms these days. Makes me interested to see, curious to know why Toei changed them. Also, close to everything age. 80s and 90s, they're freaking brutal. Mate, they're freaking brutal. That's how Dragon Ball was able to get away with some brutal hits. Like, Goku had a freaking hole in his chest during the Saiyan saga. He's early on in it, I mean. You know. That type of brutalness. Right, Seiya is a protagonist, and he's training with a woman named Marin who wears a mask. And that's part of law for female saints. And saints are Greek warriors who protect the goddess Athena, who fights defensively as she does not like war. Wait, well, they actually use Yoda's name right instead of Magnus. Wait. Sorry, getting started. So after that, as he says, training to beat someone named Cassius. Someone who's been here for the past 6 or so years. He's only 7 when he first came to Greece. He trains in the power of cardinal type of energy that bars or in people. In the Netflix dub of the anime, the voice of Seiya, Bryson Baggers, I think that's his name, is the voice of Yuga Oda and Yu-Gi-Oh! Sevens. And I've heard his voice of Seiya because Yuga's voice tune is grating to me. I got a little grating, so yeah. What the fuck you mean the starting to restore? What's it starting to go downhill? Oh god. Sorry. Gonna overthink that because that really pissed me off. This is the good voice I did prior. Alright, the ADV dub isn't that great. Obviously, so the voice acting isn't that great. The D dub is lost, so I can't tell you how that is. They said they used an actual song cover of Iran, originally sung by a block of seagulls before, with the cover being performed by Bowling for Soup, or Bowling Soup, whatever the fuck they're called. And this cover was made independently of Saint Seiya. They just licensed it. Which is weird. I was like, but that is weird. Who does that? Oh, I know. Cheapskates who don't want to use it. Who want to use a song, just song already established instead of making their own fucking vocals. But Camila got lazy by not hiring, by just having instrumental openings. Sorry. But it's a damn catchy song, you have to admit. And that's Pit Saint Seiya. Also, I found a clip of the deep dub of a scene that happens in the Silver Saints arc. But again, that'll be spoilers for that arc if you've not seen it. That's why some out of power Seiya was in. Yeah. So the next day, Seiya borrows Cassius for the power of the Pegasus cloth, which is what they call armor powered by the Greek gods. Since saints under a power of Athena fight with their bodies instead of weapons. Look, I understand why they didn't sense it in kid-friendly dubs, since it's a religious thing, and yeah. And they're kind of... Nowadays, not even accurate. I said the Zodiac. Unless I talk about the constellation Zodiac. Yeah, I'm an idiot. So yeah, Seiya battles Cassius and managed to win the cloth. As they're dealing with her trainer, Mara. That's right, Aina. Whose hair got Seiya. Actually, a competition that night wasn't Seiya don't use the power of his cloth. Making him Pegasus Seiya. Imagine a big giant, most of it not to be a cloth and mask. she needs to tell Seiya this isn't over. Because the next time she'll be wearing her cloth. Oh, their relationship is important for the future. Seiya heads back to Japan. Introduced to Saoi Kido. Ooh, the translation of the manga uses the translated name, English name, for the English dubs. Asena. I don't know why, when all the other characters' names who had their names changed, like, not spoiling him, but a certain character who was renamed Magnus, which is stupid. But his name made the same, his original name stayed in the manga. So it makes no damn sense. Makes no fucking sense. And that frustrates me sometimes. So anyway. Saoi's gathering saints that were, there were 10 years ago, orphans were taken in and trained to become saint, and basically had the potential to become saints. Only 10 managed to make it. Now they fight in the tournament she calls the Galaxian Wars for some type of power. Well, Seiya is disputing that because he's no interest in it. As we learn, he's looking for his sister, who he was separated from years ago. Because he has to deal with Jeb, another saint, who's also an orphan. Since they know each other, and Jeb was more of a lapdog, and Saori, when she was young, was more of a spoiled brat. And yeah, it's definitely a character I don't like in the anime, in the series. I think he gets killed off at some point too. I can't remember. I don't know if it's true or not, though, so take my word for it. But that's Saori's butler. He's a total bastard. So I always love to see his ass get kicked. Because seriously, makes me really hate the Kido family. It gets brushed aside after this arc. That kind of gets brushed aside for this arc, or the next arc. Which kind of bugs me. As Sally's never apologized for her behavior when she was a child. Like actually showing she cares. That's just all brushed aside. You've seen the anime. I do not know if that's handled differently in the manga. So I guess I'm going to find out once I know. So anyway, as they get forced to participate in the tournament to find his sister. She disappeared up the orphanage after him. Last the day the tournament arrives. Many spectators gathering to watch. Because two are missing. They see the cross of the swan, basically the swan saint, and the phoenix saint. They're currently missing. Oh no. We learn that this. I don't say what is this fight. We learn about the swan saint. Cygnus. The user of the Cygnus saint is named Hyoga. He's half Japanese, half Russian. For some reason, the anime changed his name to Magnus. Maybe to make it sound more Russian. But the 1980s anime, I don't know what the reboot anime, at least it's dub. Was it just to make it sound more Russian or something? I don't fucking know. Sounds cool, I guess, but I don't know. Anyway. The also mentions that his next opponent is the man named Dragon Shiryu. Seiya fights him in the tournament. It's a great fight. This tournament arc was pretty short. Compared to Dragon Ball's tournament arcs. They're long because they focus on the different matches and different fights. That's what tournament arcs do. So what's the whole point? Start out with this tournament style arc. I can't understand what Kurumada was thinking. I can't understand what he was thinking, but oh well. That's me probably. Alright. Seiya fights Shiryu, who wields the invincible dragon shield and dragon gauntlet. Also help you. His master, he traded him on his master who's doing ill right now. I know that's a bullshit. Shiryu Seiya class is a really great clash. It's a great fight too. Seiya coming victorious, but Shiryu nearly dying. So, but with one last Pegasus Meteor Punch, or Meteor Fist, whatever, bring Shiryu back to life. Because the injuries are pretty serious, but injuries are pretty bad, so he's hospitalized for a bit. What would help Seiya out in this situation was Andromeda Shun. And big detail on that one in the 2019 adaptation. They changed Shun to a girl and changed the name to Sean. It's very short for Shauna. Like I said, I don't know why. The whole point of this character is the reason they're feminine. There's a reason why. Even though it's not stated in this arc. As he's not even given much time, apparently. He gets a fight, one fight, and that's pretty short. Doesn't give him much time to characterize him. Like, you expect Kurumada to flesh out this tournament arc a little more for a couple more chapters. You know, we got fleshing out on Hyogo too at the start of that arc. I mean, the reason he's here is to kill all the saints who just finished one for a personal gain. We're after something called the Gold Cloth. The Sagittarius Gold Cloth, but CC and Shiryu's determination, they're not fighting for personal gain. That hasn't questioned the decision. So Shun buys Jeff. I will say wakes up. Shiryu makes him for and also that he might send the power of Cosmo here. Looks like going to the Phoenix. And there's some type of connection with Shun. And there's a nebula chains. Which Diana realizing who he's talking about. Someone who's supposed to have died. Shiryu. So yeah. Most powerful person makes his appearance inside the golden cloth. The Phoenix Satan self. The Andromeda chains are actually able to detect danger. And, well, there's on a cliffhanger. My only gripe with this torrent arc is it kind of felt pointless then. Like, we didn't even learn about Shun's character much. Didn't do a good job of characterizing much. When he's one of our main characters. Like, we got a pretty good focus on Shiryu doing his fight against Seiya. This story's going to be excited to flesh out Hyoga a lot more and Shun. They are main characters, flesh them out. It's just weird that they just cut that. Kurumada just had to arc at 8 chapters. Just cut this story pretty short. That's my only gripe with it. Because I like tournament arcs, they're fun. But seeing this kind of makes me, But other than that, it is an enjoyable read. So if you want to read it, go ahead. It's especially available on the Shonen Jump app. Best do that instead of getting physical volumes. Because, like I said earlier, they're out of print. So they're going to be pretty expensive. I really hope Bisbee releases them. And I hope we get a new adaptation of Saint Seiya. A faithful adaptation. They adapt the manga pretty faithfully. Not even need to build on any changes. Also, I better mention, Seiya did visit a friend from the Taiwanese orphanage that wasn't shipped off to wasn't taken in by the Kilo family. As we know, all the other all of it, Seiya has a grudge against the Kilo family because of how how he was treated as a kid. And like I said in the anime, as this gets brushed aside, I don't think she ever apologized for what happened. Saying she's changed. Kind of like, and I think she's supposed to be like the main love interest for Seiya. Also, I've got to mention, did you know in the anime adaptations, in the Japanese versions, do you know Sarah, that one of the voice actors for Saoi, not in the original anime, but one of the later appearances, she's like the same actress who played Rukia Kuchiki in Bleach. Right, Bernard? Well, the Japanese voice of Seiya was the voice of Ichigo Kurosaki in Bleach. Yeah, well, the odds. And even more funny, as Tai Kubo said, the Sanctuary arc is what inspired him to create the Gote 13 and the Warriors of the Soul Society arc. So that's quite interesting. I I think that's quite interesting. So if you want to watch the anime, if you live in the UK, you're kind of out of luck, as you only get the spin-offs and that reboot on Netflix and Crunchyroll. Yeah, season 2 is on Crunchyroll, which is like the Sanctuary arc. Yeah. So, but if you live in America, you can watch it on Crunchyroll. So basically, you can only use, you're gonna have to use a VPN. I plan to use that when I watch the anime. So, sorry, so thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed my content, please thumbs up. I want to see more subscribe channel notification about all the videos in the future. I'll see you guys next time for another video. Super Jump out.